That's really spicy, but very, very normal for a rendang.
Probably on the bad side.
Hi, my name is Shafali and today we're trying other Indonesian mums' rendang.
Rendang is a very special curry dish. It's got lots of spices in it and coconut milk in it to make it very flavoursome, and then you just add whatever meat you like.
You can marinate the beef for a long time, so it takes about 2 to 4 hours, and you just slow grill cook it, shallow fry it, or you can just basically pot roast it.
The perfect rendang would taste really coconutty but ultra spicy because the paste in it is very, very chilly. At least 15 chilies in the paste. Unfortunately, I don't like spice, but it's gotta be traditional.
I don't like rendang that's too much gravy, but people tend to like it here in this country, so I tend to cook it that way now.
It has to just kind of flake when you're pulling it apart, and then you sort of got like the crunch and you've got the softness.
That's enough from me, let's get the rendang out. So in my rendang, there's a very, very spicy paste with at least 15 chilies, coconut milk, desiccated coconut, garlic, ginger, star anise, cardamom, cinnamon, loads of gorgeous flavours. The thing that makes my rendang so special is that I had it cooking for a good 4 hours on the stove, nice and slowly.
This looks like very nice rendang because it's dry. Actually, I do prefer rendang dry.
Looks like the person's taken the time to slow cook it. Smells good. I can smell that kind of like coconut aroma.
It looks a bit dark. I think it's because loads of soy sauce or gula melaka, which is the coconut sugar, has been added to it.
I would have put some chopped onions on the top, which would have been really nice.
You can actually see the desiccated coconut in it as well. But it smells really nice. Tastes quite flavoursome. Nice and spicy. The beef, it would have been nicer if it was a bit more tender.
I feel like it was overcooked. There's a lot of coconut. There's you can tell they use coconut milk or some sort, and then they use desiccated coconut on the top, shavings. They also have a bit of chili.
The thing I most dislike about it, it's a bit chewy. With beef rendang, it's got to melt in your mouth to make it really tasty. This has got a bit too much desiccated coconut in it as well.
I like the flavours of the coconut coming through. I would probably not cook it for so long. I wouldn't over dry it. I'd add a little bit more kind of moisture into it. The coconut was a good idea. Maybe they added the coconut later on or too late because it didn't seep into the actual meat.
Santan, which is like coconut milk to blend in, rather than sort of tasting the coconut. A bit too grainy, I find.
I thought this was okay, probably on the bad side. I would give this a 6 out of 10.
I would give this rendang 6 out of 10.
In my rendang today is slow cooked beef. I also put some lemongrass, desiccated coconut, just a pinch of salt. See, my rendang was a little bit spicy, but you need to add a bit of heat during the winter, so you don't want it too light.
Whoa, it's got a bit of gravy in, which I'm quite used to now as well, even though, you know, the rendang dish should be dry.
I mean, I'm not usually used to a sauce. This will be interesting to try.
Doesn't have desiccated coconut in it. Only thing is that some of the meat is a bit brown and not the other. Maybe there's a bit of too much soy sauce in it.
It looks like it might have been in for a bit too long. I mean, it has a sauce with it, so I'm assuming it's going to be fine.
I like this rendang because it's got a bit of gravy to it, so it's not as dry. Especially if you have rice to go with it, it would have been much nicer.
Yeah, this one's good. It smells like it's supposed to. It smells like it's got all the ingredients.
And the meat is a bit more tender in this one. So I think it's been cooked in a pressure cooker, so it gives it a bit more flavour when it's tender like that. It just melts in your mouth.
I can really taste the star anise with this one, and you can tell it's been cooked for a really long time, nice and slow. I like the fact that they've used really good coconut with it, not just coconut milk, but desiccated coconut as well. It gives it that extra bite, that extra crunch.
I have nothing to dislike about it actually. It's very nice. I must say this is one of the better rendangs I've tasted.
I would improve it by putting maybe more lemongrass. I can't taste it too much in this one. Maybe less star anise. Star anise is one of the flavors that you can taste strongly.
Maybe even a touch spicier. That would have been quite nice, but you have to like spicy stuff too.
The good thing is that they've used a really good depth of flavor with the coconut, and the bad thing is that the meat's overcooked and it tastes a bit too much like it's got too much star anise in it.
There's no negative comment about this dish, except that some bits of the beef was a bit more tender than the other. Very nice dish. I enjoyed it very much.
I'd give this a solid 5.
I'd score it 7 out of 10. In my rendang today, it's got sambal, which has got belacan in, which is shrimp paste, and lots of coconut milk, and of course the meat, which is beef. I think my recipe is quite traditional for my rendang, so it's got all the ingredients that I could think of, but I think I added a bit of extra sort of lemongrass to make it more aromatic.
They actually have some gravy, which is really good. Looks like it's gonna be juicy on the inside.
Well, usually a rendang doesn't really have sauce because it's completely slowly cooked down. So it's interesting to see a sauce with it.
Smells really good. Smells really delicious. Smells like I'm gonna enjoy this.
The colour isn't as deep as I would expect, and I can smell that there's a lot of lemongrass in this one. Lemongrass is one of the key ingredients, so it's a really good thing. That's really spicy, but very, very normal for a rendang.
I can taste the ginger as well, which is coming through, which is punches through. It had a really good curry to it as well. I like the way they kind of like took their time on this dish.
The sauce is good. I'd expect the beef to be way more tender than that. I can't really taste the coconut. I'm sure it's in there, but I can't taste any desiccated coconut. I don't know. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they haven't used it. Maybe it's just their own recipe and, you know, they just generally haven't used it.
My favorite thing about this dish is that I can taste a little bit of coconut, I can taste the ginger, I can taste the flavors. The meat was also juicy as well.
I do like the idea of having a little sauce with it. It makes it not as dry as it should be, and I think it's quite yummy like that.
I would put some grated coconut on the top, just give it a bit of a crunch. I think it was missing that crunchy feeling.
The good points of this dish is that it has a really yummy sauce, but the bad thing is that it definitely has too much lemongrass and that the beef is a bit dry.
This dish was good. It had a lot of flavor. I liked the way the meat kind of tore apart. It also was nice and soft as well. I would give this a 9 out of 10.
I would give this an 8 out of 10.
No! Because I put mine in the pressure cooker, made the meat tender. Also, lots of coconut milk in. I think that helped.
Oh, that's a shame. I suppose mine could have done with a little bit more sauce.
Oh no, was it that bad?
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in your next video.